You know, it's a very interesting fun fact that I don't just sit around the house like typically during the day just combing out my beard. But when it's time to do a video, I'll say, okay, let me kind of comb it out a bit. And then it just becomes this nervous tick thing that I continuously do when the video comes on.
You do it more often than you know.
You think so? Like I just, it's like
I mean, you do
I've
it
got
more
these,
so.
I've got these two little combs over here, and I just noticed that as soon as I reach for my camera to do the video, it's like let me grab a comb so I can comb my beard out.
Same way I go to fix my hair before the video.
I guess. Well, good day to you, kind sir or ma'am or sort of other gender. It is 2018. I did not mean to assume your pronouns. Uh, there's nothing of consequence going on today. I was kind of in a, I don't want to say a funk, but I was just in this weird place today where I wanted to get stuff done, but there was nothing to do. Like, I got an email today that says, hey, remember when you thought you had filed your taxes? Well, guess what, homie? It's still work to do. So we had to go rummaging around for tax forms from 2016 for whatever reason. So we managed to get that worked out.
Oh, you're right. Because if we were talking about if we got the ones from 2016, no, never mind. I take that back. The ones from 2016 would be the ones we found in 2017. Okay,
Yeah.
I jumped up in already.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So we got that sorted out, and I started doing math in my head, trying to figure out when this tax money would be here. Because technically, they say it's about 21 days, but it still had to go through approval. What's really funny about that is that I used to lie on my taxes all the time. Like I would just blatantly lie about being self-employed, and I would always keep the numbers kind of low, but they never got like I was never audited or anything.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
How did you learn to even do that and get away with it?
I don't know.
You learn, okay, the numbers have to be this low.
Well, I think I talked to a tax guy once, and he was like, as long as you're in this low tax bracket, they don't tend to care about you. So as long
Oh,
as
that's why you got the daycare thing from who you really were doing that.
yeah, so I was doing daycare once upon a time. If you can believe that I was running a daycare. Well, it was less me running a daycare, and it was me watching like neighbor kids, and then a kid from my son's school.
So you didn't have like a license. It was more.
No,
so
it was just
sophisticated babysitting.
Yeah, it's like I would have up to 4 or 5 kids at a time.
Did
So
you enjoy it?
I did. I thought that was real cool.
Was there a lot of hands-on?
It was more an after school thing. I would pick them all up, and then I'd give them lunch or whatever, and they played outside until the parents came to get them about 6 or 7. But then I was watching my neighbor's kids. So once like that one kid would leave, I'd go next door and I would sit in their house and watch cable. and and the kids just played in the backyard until it was time for bed, and then I took Kari home and laid him down.
Wait,
and then
how did you go in their house? That was one of the kids you were watching?
yeah, like they just trusted us in the house, so because they worked like afternoons and night, so they wouldn't get home until like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just there with them to make sure the boys went to bed. And then when they went to bed, I just fell asleep on the couch and waited for the parents to come home. I mean, it's like, so it was daycare, but it wasn't really like I was like, and all right, guys, let's sit on the carpet and sing songs. It was none of that. So I always lied on my taxes, like always. And maybe it's that part of me that when I get that letter saying, okay, your taxes are done, now you've got to wait for approval, where I get that little heart murmur. I'm like, fuck. Approve. Now I gotta wait for the approval. If they find something wrong and get audited, this is gonna hold us up.
But if they found something wrong, be an honest mistake this time.
Yeah, but still, honest mistake or not, I don't need it to get held up. Like I'm at a point now where it's damn near the end of January, and I'm counting on this money to be able to pay rent for February. So it's like, ugh. So I can rest easy with that because like an hour after I put it in, it got approved. So that's that. So now it's 21 days until I get the tax money. And this is honestly like the biggest refund I've ever gotten. Like I don't know if Trump had something to do with that, or because I just made more money working for security, or it's because my tax bracket went up when I made supervisor and got the truck. I don't know, but I did real good this year, like real good. So once that was done, I felt like everything was done, but I didn't want to write and force it because they weren't talking to me in my head. Like I typically wait for them to have something to say and then I sit down and I write it, but nobody was talking to me in my head, which sounds really weird now that I say it. Just sounds so Asia was busy doing schoolwork and I wanted to do something, but I was in this weird limbo area where there was nothing to do, but I wanted to do. So I ended up just catching up on some TV shows with Kari, which was really nice. And Asia continued her schoolwork. So I'm happy that the day is winding down and I'm looking forward to a nice good night's sleep. And in the morning, I would like to get up, and in a perfect world, I would like to challenge myself to at least 2 chapters tomorrow. Pig sidebar on that, by the way. Asia has started reading my older series, which is fun. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun to me because it's like revisiting these characters. And it's like, hello, old friend. How are you? It's like, I'm so weird like that, I guess. That's really it. Not in the consequence, not in the circumstance. Just happy to be here today. You know, all is well. Guess I should call it a night.